Hello and welcome to lesson 2 of the Theory Frenzy First Steps tutor book. In this lesson you'll be learning about the minim, the semi-breve, the 3/4 time signature, the 2/4 time signature, the dotted minim, and also how to read notes correctly in the treble clef. So the actual lesson starts by showing you an example of the minim. So the minim lasts for 2 counts, and if you have a look at it you'll see that the note's not got any filling in like the crotchet. And then you have an opportunity to copy and try to draw some of those minims on the stave below. Moving on and going over the page, you are then introduced to the dotted minim. So when you put a dot against a note, it makes a note half as long again. So when you have your dotted minim, that's a minim with a dot, so it's 2 plus 1, which equals 3 counts. Then you can have the practice of writing some dotted minims on the stave. Then you're introduced to the semi-breve, and the semi-breve is a 4 count note, has no stick on, just a big blob really. And again, you can have a practice of writing those on the stave. Then the book moves on to having a look at time signatures. So the first time signature you've got is the 3/4 time signature. Now what you've got to remember with the time signature is the top number tells you how many and the bottom number tells you what type of note. So the 3 obviously means 3 amounts of notes in a bar, but the 4 at the bottom means crotchets. So a 3/4 time signature means 3 crotchets in a bar. Again, you have the opportunity to practice writing the time signature. Then you go on to the 2/4 time signature, which means 2 crotchets in a bar. And again, you have the opportunity of writing those. Now the next section talks about learning some rhymes to help you work out where all the notes actually sit on the treble clef stave. So you've got a rhyme for the lines and you've got a rhyme for your spaces. Now they've given examples of 2 rhymes here, but it doesn't mean you have to use those rhymes. You can make your own ones up, and so it gives you an opportunity underneath here of actually choosing your own rhymes and making them up. So maybe you can remember where the lines and the spaces are on the stave that little bit easier. Then moving on to the next page, they're then requested to write the following notes on the stave. So you've got a semi-breve D, and that's shown as an example, and then you're asked to write a minim, G note, a dotted minim, A note, a crotchet on middle C, and a minim on a D note. Then underneath you have 2 little sections which I think start you off composing in a way. So on the stave below, you write a treble clef, you write the 4/4 time signature, then you write your own tune using crotchets, minims and semi-breves. Now just make sure that you add up the note values correctly so it adds up to the time signature of 4 crotchets in a bar. Then the second exemplar, you do the same thing. You write a treble clef, but this time it's a 3/4 time signature. Then one last little exercise to do to finish the lesson off. You add the correct time signature to each of the following tunes that are written here. And then it says you draw a square around all the minim notes that are on it. You draw a circle around the crotchet notes, a triangle around the dotted minim notes, and then you leave the semi-breves blank. And that completes lesson 2.